Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Speak Easy, Daily Conversations. I'm Olivia, and today's episode might change the way you think about learning English completely.
And I'm Ethan. Yes, because today we're going to talk about something that might sound a little surprising, maybe even a bit controversial for some learners.
We're going to talk about why you should stop focusing too much on grammar.
And what the real secret to becoming fluent in English actually is.
Now, before we start, let's make something clear. We are not saying that grammar is not important at all.
Yes, grammar is important. It helps you understand structure and it helps you avoid confusion.
But the problem is not grammar itself.
The problem is how learners focus on grammar too much, especially at the beginning.
Ethan, let me ask you something honestly.
Sure.
Have you ever felt like you studied grammar a lot, but still couldn't speak fluently?
Yes, and I think that's one of the most frustrating experiences for language learners. I remember spending so much time studying grammar rules, tenses, sentence structures, and all kinds of patterns. I understood them when I saw them in books, and I could even do exercises correctly. But when it came to speaking, everything felt completely different.
That's very relatable.
Yes, because knowing grammar and using grammar in real conversation are two very different things. When I tried to speak, I didn't feel confident. I kept thinking, is this correct? Am I using the right tense? Should I change the sentence? And because of that, I became slow and unsure.
So grammar actually made you hesitate.
Exactly. Instead of helping me speak, it made me overthink.
I had a very similar experience. In the past, I believed that if I mastered grammar, I would automatically become fluent. So I spent a lot of time studying rules, memorizing patterns, and trying to understand everything perfectly.
And what happened?
I became very good at understanding grammar, but not at speaking English naturally. When I tried to speak, I felt like my brain was full of rules, but I didn't know how to use them in real time.
That's such an important point. Grammar knowledge doesn't always translate into speaking ability.
Yes, because speaking is a skill. It's not just knowledge, it's something you have to practice.
So what changed for you?
What changed was my mindset. I stopped focusing on grammar as the main goal. Instead, I started focusing on communication. I asked myself, can I express my idea clearly instead of, is my sentence perfect?
That's a powerful shift.
Yes, and it made a huge difference. I started speaking more, even if my sentences were simple or not perfect. And slowly, my fluency improved.
I also realized something similar. I noticed that people who speak English fluently are not always thinking about grammar rules. They just speak. They focus on meaning, not structure.
Exactly. They learned grammar naturally through usage, not by memorizing rules all the time.
Let's go deeper into this idea.
Okay.
Why do you think focusing too much on grammar can slow down learning?
I think one reason is that it creates pressure. When learners focus too much on grammar, they feel like every sentence must be correct, and that pressure makes them afraid to speak.
That's true.
Another reason is that grammar is often learned in isolation. You learn rules, but you don't always learn how to use them in real conversations.
So there's a gap between knowledge and application.
Exactly.
And I think another reason is that language is not just logic, it's also habit.
Yes, that's very important.
You don't become fluent by understanding rules. You become fluent by using the language again and again until it feels natural.
Like muscle memory.
Exactly.
Let's give a simple example.
Okay.
A learner might know the rule, use present perfect for experiences.
But when speaking, they pause and think, should I use present perfect or past simple?
And that pause breaks fluency.
But a fluent speaker doesn't think like that. They just say, I've tried that before, naturally.
Because they've heard and used it many times.
So the real question is,
If grammar is not the main focus, then what is the real secret to fluency?
I would say the real secret is input and practice.
Yes.
You need to listen to real English.
You need to read natural sentences.
And most importantly, you need to speak,
Even if it's not perfect.
especially if it's not perfect.
Let's talk about a better way to learn grammar.
Okay?
Instead of studying rules first, learn through examples.
Yes. For example, instead of memorizing present perfect rules, you can learn phrases like,
I have finished my work. I have seen that movie. I have learned a lot.
over time, your brain recognizes patterns.
And you start using them naturally.
This is how children learn language.
They don't study grammar books.
They listen, repeat, and use.
Now let's talk directly to our listeners.
If you've been studying grammar for a long time but still feel stuck,
It's not your fault.
you just need a different approach.
Start focusing more on communication.
Speak more,
Listen more.
and don't be afraid of mistakes.
Let's do a reflection exercise.
Okay?
Think about this question.
Do I understand English but struggle to speak?
If yes,
Then you need more speaking practice, not more grammar study.
now let's have a deeper conversation.
Okay?
Ethan, do you think learners should completely stop studying grammar?
That's a very good question, and I think the answer is not black and white. I don't think learners should completely stop studying grammar because grammar still plays an important role in understanding the language. However, I strongly believe that grammar should not be the main focus, especially if your goal is to become fluent in speaking.
That's a balanced perspective.
Yes, because if you focus too much on grammar, you might become very accurate but not fluent. On the other hand, if you focus only on speaking without any awareness of structure, your sentences might become confusing. So, the key is balance.
That makes sense. So, how would you suggest learners balance grammar and fluency?
I would suggest spending more time on exposure and practice and less time on memorizing rules. For example, instead of studying grammar for hours, you can spend that time listening to English, repeating sentences, and practicing speaking.
That's a very practical approach.
And when you notice a pattern, you can learn the grammar behind it. But don't start with the rule. Start with the usage.
That's a very important point. Before we end, let's share one final message.
Okay.
Fluency is not about knowing everything.
It's about using what you know.
Again and again.
Don't wait until your grammar is perfect,
Start speaking now,
even with simple sentences.
even with mistakes.
Because that's how real learning happens.
Through action. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
We hope this episode helps you change your mindset.
And move forward with confidence.
Keep practicing,
Keep speaking.
and remember,
You don't need perfect grammar to be fluent.
you just need to communicate.
See you in the next episode of Speak Easy Daily Conversations.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.